Namaste, angels. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. This is the weekly general reading for the period of today, October 13th through Saturday to come, October 19th. A couple things in the calendar I just want to mention. Beginning with today at 5:08 p.m., the full moon in Aries at 20 degrees Aries occurred. Tomorrow, on October 14th at 1:25 a.m., Jupiter will be sesquiquadrate Uranus. And the moon actually will still be in that Aries zone. October 17th at 1:44 a.m., Jupiter will be semi-sextile Pluto. So that's two big transits involving Jupiter. We may see like the Wheel of Fortune or the Sun. What else represents Jupiter and Sagittarius? Temperance. You may see those cards pop up. Also on October 18th at 8:03 p.m., Pluto will be quintile Chiron. So Pluto, we may see Judgment. What else is Pluto? I guess pretty much that's it. Judgment, right? Oh, Death. We may see Death. And that's it for the celestial calendar. So on the Christian calendar, today is also the last of the celebrations of the feast day of Our Lady of Fatima for this year. So every year, beginning with the first one in the year 1917, when Mary appeared to three children on May 13th in Fatima, and they feared that no one would believe that Mary had visited them. So she said, tell your whole town to come back in June. And then they had this huge apparition on June 13th in 1917. And then every month thereafter through October. And this is celebrated by the Christian church every year in that way. So today is the last feast day of Our Lady of Fatima for the year 2019. What else goes on the Christian calendar? Also on the Christian calendar this week, on the 18th, is the feast day of Saint Luke, the evangelist. Yes. Friday, the 18th. So to talk a little bit about St. Luke, I'll just go to www.franciscanmedia.org. Luke wrote one of the major portions of the New Testament, a 2-volume work comprising the third gospel and Acts of the Apostles. In the two books, he shows the parallel between the life of Christ and that of the church. He is the only Gentile Christian among the gospel writers. Tradition holds him to be a native of Antioch, and Paul calls him our beloved physician. His gospel was probably written between 70 and 85 AD. 70 or 7, of course, representative of God and spirituality in several numerical languages, not just numerology and angel numbers, but also supreme math, gematria, it comes up at 7. So and 85, of course, equals 13 or 4 or 11, 11. Luke appears in Acts during Paul's second journey, remains at Philippi for several years until Paul returns from his third journey, accompanies Paul to Jerusalem, and remains near him when he is imprisoned in Caesarea. During these 2 years, Luke had time to seek information and interview persons who had known Jesus. He accompanied Paul on the dangerous journey to Rome, where he was a faithful companion. Luke's unique character may best be seen by the emphasis of his gospel, which has been given a number of subtitles. Number 1, the gospel of mercy. 2, the gospel of universal salvation. 3, the gospel of the poor. 4, the gospel of absolute renunciation. 5, the gospel of prayer and the Holy Spirit. And 6, the gospel of joy. Luke wrote as a Gentile for Gentile Christians. His gospel and Acts of the Apostles reveal his expertise in classic Greek style, as well as his knowledge of Jewish sources. There is a warmth to Luke's writing that sets it apart from that of the other synoptic gospels, and yet it beautifully complements those works. The treasure of the scriptures is a true gift of the Holy Spirit to the church. Saint Luke is the patron saint of artists and painters, brewers, butchers, notaries, physicians, and surgeons. On the Hebrew calendar this week is the feast or festival, week-long festival of Sukkot. Now, Sukkot begins on the 14th and will go through the 22nd. I thought it was a 9-day festival. Okay, the reason I'm talking out loud, thinking out loud right now, is because when I did the moon reading, I mentioned Sukkot, and I said it's a 9-day festival. But then I read something about it quickly, not in detail, but just to say what it is, and it said that it was a 7-day festival or something like that. And I was sitting there like, huh? I thought it was a 9-day celebration. So it is. Okay, because now I'm looking at a Jewish calendar. So that's from where I'm getting it. Again, the first day is the 14th, which is Monday. Also Columbus Day in the United States. And it goes through the 22nd. So what is Sukkot? For that, I'm going to Shabbat.org. So this is from their website, www.shabbat.org. It's an article or blog called What is Sukkot? A Guide to the Jewish Holiday of Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles, and the Meanings Behind It, written by someone named Menachem Posner. Sukkot is a week-long Jewish holiday that comes 5 days after Yom Kippur. Sukkot celebrates the gathering of the harvest and commemorates the miraculous protection that God provided to the children of Israel when they left Egypt. That's what I was talking about. Okay. Maybe this, because when I did that thing earlier, actually I was going off the top of my head. But this is probably from where I had gotten it, where I had seen the information. Because sure enough, here it does say Sukkot is October 13th through the 20th. So I just looked at the Hebrew calendar and it said the 22nd. So I'm going to ignore that. And it's not a week-long celebration. It's a 9-day one. We just reconfirmed that. All right. So I mentioned it because I was talking about protection, the protection of God, and what I had been feeling about the moon. That there was going to be a lot of father energy because of Mars, the ruler of the sign of Aries, is basically the representation of the divine masculine as far as the planets go, and that is like Venus's, immediate counterpart. So I was talking about that. Sure enough, father energy and the energy of protection, as far as the divine masculine, feeling his higher self, feeling very knight-like. And wanting to protect and guard and defend those weaker than him, totally came up in the moon reading. All right, so I'm sorry, I went off on a little bit of a tangent because I was just, when you feel crazy, you're like, wait a minute. So all that makes sense now to me, and to those of you who see the other reading, you'll understand what this was about. Anyway, we celebrate Sukkot by dwelling in a foliage-covered booth known as a sukkah, and by taking the, quote, 4 kinds, end quote, 4 special species of vegetation. The first 2 days, sundown on October 13th until nightfall on October 15th, the holiday is considered Yom Tov, when work is forbidden. Candles are lit in the evening, and festival meals are preceded by kiddush and include challah. That's that bread, that sweet bread that's often braided. It's very good. And this is challah that's dipped in honey that you get the first 2 days. The intermediate days, nightfall on October 15th until sundown on the 20th, are quasi-holidays known as Chol Hamod. We dwell in the sukkah and take the 4 kinds every day of Sukkot, except for Shabbat, which is the Sabbath, when we do not take the 4 kinds. And the final 2 days, sundown on October 20th until nightfall on October 22nd, are a separate holiday It's only one day that they celebrate it in Israel, but the rest of the world where they celebrate this Jewish tradition, it is 2 days, and it is called Shemini Atzeret, or Simchat Torah. Of all the Jewish holidays, Sukkot is the only one whose date does not seem to commemorate a historic event. The Torah refers to it by 2 names, Chag HaAsif, the festival of ingathering, or harvest festival, and Chag HaSukkot, the festival of booths, each expressing a reason for the holiday. In Israel, crops grow in the winter and are ready for harvest in the late spring, but some of them remain out in the field to dry for a few months and are only ready for the harvest in the early fall. Chag HaAsif is a time to express appreciation for this bounty. The name Chag HaSukkot commemorates the temporary dwellings that God made to shelter our ancestors on their way out of Egypt. Some say that this refers to the miraculous clouds of glory that shielded us from the desert sun, while others say it refers to the tents in which they dwelled for their 40-year trek through the Sinai desert. For 7 days and nights, we all eat our meals in the sukkah and otherwise regard it as our home. Located under the open sky, the sukkah is made up of at least 3 walls and a roof of unprocessed natural vegetation, typically bamboo, pine boughs, or palm branches. The goal is to spend as much time as possible in the sukkah, at the very minimum eating all meals in the sukkah, particularly the festive meals on the first 2 nights of the holiday, when we must eat at least an olive-sized piece of bread or mezanot, grain-based food, in the sukkah. The Shabbat practice is to not eat or drink anything outside the sukkah. Some people even sleep in the sukkah. This is not the Shabbat custom, however. It goes on to talk about taking the 4 kinds and about Hashanat and Hashanana Rabbah, I guess other additional practices. Sukkah in the Holy Temple, how they practice in Jerusalem. Well, here's something, water and joy. On Sukkot, God determines how much rain will fall that winter, the primary rainy season in Israel. Thus, while every sacrifice in the temple included wine libations poured over the altar, on Sukkot, water is also poured over the altar in a special ceremony. This ritual engendered such joy that it was celebrated with music, dancing, and singing all night long. This celebration was called Simchat Beit Hasha'evah. Even today, when there is no temple, it is customary to hold nightly celebrations that include singing and dancing, and even live music during the intermediate days of the holiday. The holiday is so joyous that in the Talmudic times, like in the times of the scriptures, when someone said the word chag, or holiday, without specifying which one, you could know that they were referring to Sukkot, because that was like the time to turn up. And it goes on to talk about how people celebrate Sukkot. Final note. By the time Simchat Torah is over, we've experienced a spiritual roller coaster from the solemn introspection of the high holy days to the giddy joy of Sukkot and Simchat Torah. Now it is time to convert the roller coaster into a locomotive. That's interesting because a train showed up in the moon reading. A locomotive showed up, a card. Anyway, we convert the roller coaster into a locomotive, making sure that the inspiration of the holiday season propels us to greater growth, learning, and devotion in the year ahead. So yeah, I skipped over a bunch of stuff. Anybody that wants to read up on that, again, I just got it from Chabad.org. That is CHABAD. And I think that's all I wanted to talk about. So we're going to get to the reading, beginning with the dice and no, buy shoes and romantic dinner. Spirit says email, which may be connected to Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius. Eat cake, which has a transit with Jupiter this week, but also is very close to the Aries moon as well, as I understood it, downloaded it. And weekend away for some. Cards, I got some oracle cards here that we're going to get advice from. I already laid the advice here. And otherwise, overall energy from the Abundance Oracle, clean energy food. When you fuel your body with healthful organic diet, you increase your energy levels and the ability to focus. This automatically leads to more efficiency, better ideas, and a higher vibration, which attracts golden opportunities and beneficial relationships. So if you are able to eat cleaner foods, whole foods, organic foods, both, that is recommended this week, and it's going to help you to ascend, to increase your vibration. Oh, wow. Okay. Also, heal away addictions from the angel therapy cards. It's time to let go of behaviors that are blocking you from your heart's desire. Ask Archangel Raphael to help you with this healing. And for a bunch of us, I think the heart's desire specifically pertains to love and relationship, because right behind it also upright is twin flame. The answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. Spiritually based romantic relationship also came up in the moon reading. So this is a very intense time for it. And I'd already been feeling, I think I mentioned prior to doing laying any cards, that I definitely felt like real relationships, like true love, genuine soul connections coming up for many within the next week or two behind this Aries moon. But also a lot of healing, and some of that healing may be in the area of your solar plexus chakra. Now, many of us believe that this is where the soul is actually located. The solar plexus would be like your stomach, down to, right above your genitalia. That would be like where the solar, where the sacral chakra begins. And you know how you get butterflies in your stomach, or your stomach sinks, or your stomach bubbles, depending upon your emotion? Yeah, that's why people feel that, or many people feel that that's where the soul is located. It's safe for you to be powerful and to take charge of your life in positive ways. So some of you have blockages there. That may be some of the things that you're healing. This is Astrology Answers Tarot deck. And this is the Four of Pentacles upright. And the Four of Pentacles upright, for me, it can be about holding on to something too tightly, maybe specifically money or the material, or giving something away too freely. Again, maybe specifically money or the material, but it doesn't have to be. I certainly attribute the Four of Pentacles to many other things, and to relationships. For me, it can be about I always like to describe it in terms of work first, and then apply it to relationships, because people tend to really understand what I mean when I do that. So when you have a job that you just go to because it pays the bills, you don't like the job, it's not what you always wanted to do, it's not fulfilling in any kind of way, you don't like going there, you don't like the people, they don't like you, it's just otherwise a miserable experience, but it pays the bills. Well, sometimes we have relationships like that too. Friendships, romantic relationships, from which we're just not getting anything. And, probably the other person or persons involved in the relationship, they're not getting anything either. We're just all going through the motions because perhaps something is served. So if it's a roommate, for example, well, they pay the other half of the rent. So might as well remain stuck in this. Even though we can't stand each other, might as well remain stuck because they pay the other half of the rent at least, or a romantic partner. Well, yeah, I can use them as a roommate at least. They paid some of the bills. I don't have to pay them all, because as long as they're here, or they help to take care of my child or our child or whatever it is. So might as well be miserable here with them. And when you really think that through logically, it's not the case. It doesn't really make sense. Now, upright behind this also is the Five of Cups. So somebody could have experienced some sort of loss, or be afraid of experiencing some kind of loss. And maybe it does have to do with, again, money. But it can also have to do with love and emotion, with this card being cups. And there's a fear, maybe of losing an earth sign. With the Page of Pentacles now showing up. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, or losing a relationship or a job. This could be representative of a job too. Or again, it can be money. You're feeling emotional about it, all over the place. But then the next card, it's not upright. It's the Hangman in reverse, actually. So I'll stop here. So someone holding on to something, I think out of fear, is what these three cards together represent. Something or someone. And lastly, from the Animal Tarot, the Seven of Summer, or Seven of Cups, represents options, goals, dreams. I don't see anything that would give me an indication of a relationship, romantic or sexual relationship. But when I do, sometimes for me it represents like one night stands and that sort of thing too. It's time to stop procrastinating and to make a decision so that you can move forward with a priority. If you need to do research, then do so, but don't overthink the situation. Listen to your heart. This card for me, although not a court card, also very, very representative of planet Neptune and the sign of Pisces, which it rules specifically. Also upright behind this one. So it's like whatever you have to face, whatever decision you have to face and make, you're capable of doing that. You have the strength to do it. Whatever other situations you may have to face, it's all good. You're going to get through this. You have Major Arcana card 11, Strength, which represents the sign of Leo, fellow fire sign Leo, to the Aries moon energy that's surrounding us today, because I'm doing this reading on the 13th. True strength is displayed through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power and courage. Forgiveness also came up most specifically for the feminine, that she has some stuff to release and forgive. Now, these two cards, after I had done everything, shuffle, cut, put the cards there, I realized these two cards were still laying on the table. I'm like, oh, okay. So I decided to show them to you. And they fell just like this. So it's Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot, sitting above the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is often about conflict. If it's not inner conflict, as in one is conflicted, then for me, with wands, it tends to be, more often than not, the conflict is with close friends and or family or at work, and maybe involving some sort of competition, jealousy at work, somebody trying to take credit for your work and stuff like that. However, with the Chariot having landed atop it, also upright, this is victory over any conflict. This is you winning. And together, they can instead be considered that this isn't conflict at all. It is aggression. And you're getting that energy of aggression from Mars and the energy of Aries. And, winning with it. It's a driving force. And you're in the driver's seat. You're in full control here when you're in the Chariot. Chariot also representative of travel and movement. So it could be metaphoric, it could be literal. And I'm just going to stick these in here arbitrarily. Just wanted to show them to you. I figured I'd use the Astrology Answers Tarot deck as the second one, for anything that had to be clarified. And then that would give us an opportunity to have the reversals if necessary, and to give different meanings because of the reversals. Crown of the Masculine this week. It is the Two of Spring. Could be connected to that twin flame relationship that we saw here. Two of Spring or Two of Wands, the twin flame or divine union card of the tarot. Twos, of course, also about partnership in general, as well as faith. So this could be a business partnership, a friendship. This is the general reading, so any of those could be applicable as well. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors or to expand the number of people who are helping you. Surrounding the masculine, it's another Five of Cups. Focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest of intentions for you. A positive outlook makes it easier for you to recover from life's little difficulties so that you can move onward and upward. That's true. Both the Four of Pentacles and the Five of Cups, at least together, could also be representative of some sort of disappointment as well, if not an actual loss. Masculine subconscious, the Prince of Winter, decisive, focused, driven, and impulsive. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires that you choose logic and intellect over emotion and make your decisions quickly. The Prince of Winter is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and can definitely be about the need to make a decision. It might be connected to the Seven of Cups that we started with. That can be about a need to make a decision and having so many options and choices in your head and just not being sure as to what to do, or, having trouble discerning between illusion and reality, and therefore difficulty making a choice. Maybe involving an air sign. Crowning the feminine, the King of Spring, inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise. Now's your moment to step up into a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused upon the big picture. The King of Spring is a Leo, so maybe why Strength is here, Major Arcana card Strength. A Leo, Sagittarius or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Also, he is one half of this Two of Wands when it is representative of a couple. Surrounding the feminine, Major Arcana card 5, Unity, the Hierophant, which represents the sign of Taurus. Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher, or to spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. Yeah, the Hierophant is all about higher institutions. It can be about spirituality, spiritual awakening, and growth. Also for me, often more so than it is about commitments and relationships. I know most people look to it for that. And it is about that too. It can be about that too. Deepening of commitments or establishing commitments, signing contracts, whether it's, so it doesn't have to be a romantic commitment. It could be a business commitment or something. So again, entering a partnership or something. But it's often about the need to make adjustments to our surroundings, the people, places, and things with which we surround ourselves. They no longer align. And then we need to make adjustments to find some that do align, that match our vibration or are higher than our own vibration, from whom we can learn something. Or, we have to sometimes, dismiss and remove people that don't match our vibration and from whom we're not learning anything. And again, the relationship is going nowhere, as is the case with, I lost the Four of Pentacles, but the Four of Pentacles where we started out with, I don't know what I did with it. But that's what I was trying to describe with the Four of Pentacles. It's like we're not getting anything out of this. It's not serving my purpose, my soul's purpose. It's not serving your soul's purpose. We just really need to separate here. That's what the Hierophant represents for me. And feminine subconscious, the Ace of Autumn. You can expect a windfall of abundance, such as money, timely assistance, a serendipitous meeting, or rewarding advice. You may be offered a fabulous new job or promotion, or the prospect of a profitable business venture or investment. And that may be coming through a Taurus, perhaps, with the Hierophant sitting right above it. Crowning, Major Arcana card 18, the Moon, which represents the sign of Pisces and the planet Neptune. It's important to trust your intuition, even if you're unsure of what's happening, and all will be revealed soon. So worry is unnecessary. The moon guides us, yes, to pay attention to our intuition. And so it's crossing this Hierophant. If you're getting messages that your spirit is telling you to leave this person alone or to leave this place alone, stop frequenting a particular area because, you know, there's an element there that is not conducive to your growth. Or things, doesn't have to be necessarily like substances like drugs or whatever, but it could be things that you're dealing with, that you're using in your life. Could be even food, right? Maybe you're not eating clean at all, and so what you need to leave alone is food that doesn't match your vibration or where you're going, doesn't serve your life purpose. Any food, people, places, or things that we have to remove ourselves from. If we're being guided to do so, this says go ahead and do it, even if you don't know what lies ahead. And if it's connected to, again, that 4 of Pentacles and or the 5 of Cups, and maybe because it's crossing the 5 of Cups here too, and a fear of letting go of something, the moon says to let go of the fear of letting go instead and follow the guidance that you've been given, and the universe will support you. At the root foundation, Major Arcana card 0, the Dreamer, which is actually the Fool in the traditional tarot. Another card that tells us to throw caution to the wind, like the moon is trying to get us to do. You are starting a new adventure. Run free and take a leap of faith. And this is probably a path, or it is a path, on which you've never walked before. This is a brand new path. And that's clear for the feminine with the Ace of Autumn here. But the same is true for the masculine as well. Brand new path. Should you be willing to release the old that is holding you back from it. And at the heart of the matter, the Princess of Spring, energetic, outgoing, optimistic, and creative. Here's the Jupiter energy showing up. That's bringing us some sort of opportunity this week. Creative opportunities that you feel passionate about are fluttering your way. Personal growth and broadened horizons will spark fresh and original ideas. We can clarify a couple. I won't use this one to clarify because it fell away, so I'll leave this one for everybody. It is the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. 6 of Pentacles, all about assistance that is coming our way, either in the form of, you know, person or something here on the 3D, or the universe stepping in to help us, to send us all kinds of blessed energy that, you know, makes our lives easier. When it's reversed like ours, as opposed to upright, you may be confused about from where the assistance is coming, what's available to you. And so that may be due to the moon. Again, like the universe is moving us towards something. It's saying, I want to help you, I want to send you something, but we're holding back because we're afraid. So that's, again, the push to follow your intuition and to pursue these opportunities that the moon brings, because assistance is there awaiting you. That's what the 6 of Pentacles in reverse wants you to know. I talked about work too, so with work, as opposed to somebody approaching you, it may be important for you to remember to also be generous. So like with your time, your assistance, if you're more qualified or knowledgeable about a particular thing, somebody needs you, want to make sure that we're not, you know, what? What you buy my desk for? And we don't respond like that. Then we're generous with our knowledge, with our time, with our attention when the Six of Pentacles shows up, because it's going to be sort of karmic. Like what goes around comes around. You'll be the one that needs somebody one day. So right now, while you have the opportunity, you want to handle it properly. Love. I guess we should mention love too, with the Two of Spring here, maybe specific for the masculine or more so for the masculine. No, the Hierophant can be about love also. All right, so let's talk about love too. And basically that's going to be about being generous with you. Not overly generous like the Four of Pentacles could possibly mean, like just giving of yourself, but being open to actually meeting someone if you're single, or being open to deepening your commitment if you're already coupled in some way, and not to go to either extreme. You know what I mean? It's good. A lot of us are independent. I'm going to say this for the feminine because the Hierophant's here, right? A lot of us have this thing, I'm independent, I don't need anybody. We want to watch out for that too. If you truly feel like that, you don't need anybody, because the word you speak out in the universe and the thoughts that you put out there over yourself, that's what you're going to manifest. You don't need anybody, maybe you won't have nobody. Yeah. So if that's not true, let's stop doing that. And we want to make sure, we pay particular attention to not doing that when the Six of Pentacles in reverse shows up. It is good to be independent. It's a positive thing to be self-sufficient and to be able to take care of yourself. But to alienate people and potential partners, I don't think is what we want to do. And that's what we can be doing with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. If you are in a relationship already and something seems off, check yourself and see if you're being open, if you're being reciprocal, if you're both giving and receiving, and if you're not doing enough of the other after this self-assessment, then fix yourself in that area and give a little more, or be more open to receiving from your partner. In terms of clarifiers, why don't we clarify that one and that one. We each have a 5 here, by the way. Of course, the feminine's is stronger, more karmic, being Major Arcana, but this is the 5 of Cups and Major Arcana card 5. Let's see what's up with the moon. Further information about the moon. And do we want to do the opportunity? All right, so to clarify, this 5 of Summer is Major Arcana card 21, the World upright. So for me, the World is a card that shows up when the universe is stepping in. So like assistance. You don't know where the assistance is coming from. It still may be coming on this plane from somebody that the universe, God, enlists to help you. But it could be coming through a karmic energy, something going on in some area where you felt disappointment or loss, like that's coming to an end. The universe is stepping in to pull you out of this energy and pull you out of this situation or relationship even, and to bring you to one that is better, to help you to complete whatever karma is attached to this. If it is a job, like it's a job you stayed at, again, way too long, and this is probably because of our overall energy that I can't find anymore, that I don't know what I did with the 4 of Pentacles upright. Something that is not serving you, that you needed to get out of, you didn't, whether it's a job, a relationship, a friendship, whatever. And now the universe who is stepping in with this assistance for you with the World upright, and you will be moved into something that is better. The World upright, the World in general for me holds a fire energy. It feels like fire when I pick it up, but I haven't attributed it to any, one sign or another. But this could be Mars. This could be Jupiter, both. And it may be a fire sign that comes through, very Knight of Wands like, comes through to save the day and help you. And then, the energy dissipates just as quickly as it came. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. For the feminine, atop the Hierophant, is the Four of Wands in reverse. Okay, for some, or maybe quite a few, this may indeed have to do with a relationship or a deepening of a relationship or entering a commitment, very possibly romantic commitment. The Hierophant and the Four of Wands in reverse. I mean, the Four of Wands is kind of the Four of Wands, whether it's upright or if it's reverse. You know, maybe the event that you experience won't be as strong or brilliant as it would have been perhaps if the Four of Wands was upright, but it's still the Four of Wands. So something very, very and special in a good way, maybe attached to this abundance that the Ace of Autumn brings, is coming the way of the feminine, it seems. You can really expect, you know, good fortune in whatever area this touches for you. If you're already in a commitment, a deepening of commitment. If you're single and looking, meeting somebody who may be just, you know, like a really genuine soul match for you between the Hierophant and the Four of Wands. Things going well at your job, continuing to go well, getting better even, abundance coming, getting a raise, promotion, some sort of recognition or something. It's just things going well. Maybe being made a supervisor or a boss, put in some sort of leadership role with the King of Spring crowning the feminine this week. So very nice cards for the feminine. And crowning in general atop the moon. Wow, okay, the Ace of Cups. The moon says, use your intuition, trust us, have faith, move as guided. Something good is coming for you. Yeah, something very good. It's an emotionally fulfilling too. Ace of Cups upright. So definitely follow any divine guidance that you feel or receive. And atop the Princess of Spring, which is representative of the opportunities themselves. It's the Page of Wands, basically. The news bringer that shows up to tell us this opportunity is coming is the Ten of Wands in reverse. So you're, not only is an opportunity coming for you, but you're going to be freed up of things that were holding you back from opportunity before, that were weighing you down. And maybe just had, like, you just had so many responsibilities, so many things on your plate, and that was stressful. All that is being taken away from you before you get this other opportunity. So it really looks like a good week in all areas. Further advice to the masculine is for you to let go of this fear. And that would represented by the moon too. It could be fear of a relationship, maybe because it is so strong, maybe wanting to marry or become engaged or to start, you know, dating somebody, enter a commitment, to deepen a commitment. And there's fear here, but you're the only thing to fear is fear itself, that quote, because this is only you. All the other energy, everything else is falling into place to have you free as a bird, as they say. So if you're still feeling restricted, that is you and something that you have to work on releasing. It's so easy to convince yourself that you're trapped when you really aren't. Trust that God will lift you to new heights and give you a greater sense of self-confidence if you first affirm your freedom. See? Boom. Feminine from the Animal Tarot. It's another Chariot. Okay, so again, you're in the driver's seat. You maybe even be moving to a new home, maybe even cohabitation. Again, engagement, marriage, living with somebody. This could be traveling, you visiting someone, them coming to visit you at your job. This is victory. This is promotion. This is recognition. This is celebration of you. You may be getting a new car. You can successfully balance various or opposing energies all at once through determination and focus. You've earned the rewards and recognition that you're receiving. So deservingness is also an important energy for you guys this week too, or for us, feminine. We've deserved this. We've earned this. And that's, you know, very important to keep in mind. Like, nobody's doing you a favor when this energy comes through. This is your karma paying off. Masculine, another card that tells you there's nothing to fear. It's the King of Pentacles upright. So this is good news for you too. This opportunity that shows up for you that is going to be emotionally fulfilling also is additionally lucrative for you, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, a new job, a business of your own, or just money coming at you from somewhere. It is all good when the King of Pentacles shows up. The King of Pentacles can also be a person who is helping to facilitate this stuff for you, to bring you all this abundance. And that is may be very well a direct earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Feminine for us from the tarot, it is the Wheel of Fortune upright. Feminine really winning this week. Seriously. Now, for some, in the traditional tarot, the way the Wheel of Fortune reads, if you've already experiencing all good, then your fortune could be, reversal as well. And this may be a more down time for you. Doesn't mean you're going to go bankrupt and stuff, because the other cards are still good. But if you've been experiencing good fortune all along, you could have a reversal of fortune too. And, maybe a slower time for you, or not as much increase as you're used to, or something like that. But for the rest of us, who are just in line, who are due the justice, the abundance coming their way, here it is. From the angel therapy card to the masculine earth angel, you are a light worker who has come to earth to teach about love. So also coming with this Ace of Cups and this moon is heightened intuition, and I believe even ascension for spiritual growth for you masculine. For the feminine, a little of the same. Indigo. The masculine's an earth angel and you're an indigo. The person you're inquiring about is an indigo, meaning a highly sensitive, natural born leader. From the numerology deck, I'm sorry, no, not the numerology deck, the abundance oracle rather. Visualize abundance in all forms, masculine. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. That's what I was saying over here before. You can manifest the negative stuff too, if that's what you want to focus on. So don't do that. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive, and filled with blessings. And that is what you'll experience. And lastly, feminine for us from the same abundance oracle, going along with that Hierophant, and those of us who need to apply it in a way where people, places, and things in our life that no longer align with us, declutter shows up too. You'll feel better and more focused if you take time to clear away clutter from your living and workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need the items, but be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. And I just tend to say, let's keep our lives as uncluttered as we can in general when that card shows up. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the general reading. I will be back with love, specifically love, and I think we're going to get into it pretty deep. Please do like, share, subscribe if you have not already, and I'll be back.